guys, 2018 is coming to an open, so it is time to recap the movies that I have seen this year. These are my top 10 best movies of 2017. I know it's a day early to do this, like some people do it on the 27th. I decided to do it now, and tomorrow I will do my top 10 worst list, and then go on with my most anticipated movies of 2018. How does that sound? Good? Yep. Sounds good to me. So guys, these are my favorite movies of 2017, and before I talk about that, I'm going to talk about that 2017 has been a great year. It improved a lot from 2016, because 2016 wasn't really a great year. It's actually probably the worst year for movies in my personal opinion, but 2017 totally lifted up of improvement, and I just really enjoyed movies that I watched this year. And I'm not doing honorable mentions, but if those movies aren't on this list that I gave like A's or B pluses to, I'm not trying to say they're bad movies or anything. They're great movies still, but they just don't make it on my list. So guys, we might as well get started on my top 10 best movies of 2017. These are the movies that I enjoyed so much this year, which to get an Oscar nomination. And these are the movies that I felt entertained by, had fun with, and I really wanted to watch these movies again. So guys, let's start off my best list with number 10. Star number 10 on this list is Coco. Now, Disney Pixar is fantastic at making original concepts. We got Inside Out from 2015. Now we got Coco. Coco may not be a better Pixar film than Inside Out or Toy Story 3. It is still a Pixar classic. The animation looks fantastic, especially the look of the Land of the Dead. It looks fantastic. I love the characters in the movie, especially Hector. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire movie, and he also has a very terrifying past. But the whole movie itself is a great message about family and a great message about music. Two messages in one. It's really impossible to do that, but no, Pixar can't. Now coming in number 9 is a movie that I haven't get a chance to review, but I watched it, I really did watch it, and I decided to put it on my list because this is one of the most disturbing but most surprisingly horror films of the year. That movie is Get Out. Jordan Peele directed comedy movies, and now he's directing this movie. And when I saw his name in the trailer, I was like, what? Okay, he's going to take it to the next level as a horror director. But my god, Jordan Peele surprised me with this film. His direction was fantastic. This is one of my scariest, most disturbing horror films of the year, with not even a single jump scare. This film is mostly a very disturbing film, in a very good way though. The cast did a great job. I love how the script was. I love the work that Jordan Peele has done. I want to see him do more horror films since I watched this film. Now coming in number 8, this company has gone through shit. But then this movie came out and it totally saved this company. That movie is Wonder Woman. Yeah, as I said before, Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad were really disappointing movies. They weren't shit movies, but they're very disappointing movies, especially Batman v Superman. And we are worried about Wonder Woman. If this movie was disappointing or terrible, DC wouldn't be a fantastic superhero universe. But no, Wonder Woman totally surprised me. This movie is probably one of the better superhero origin stories I've ever seen since Batman Begins. This movie totally surprised me a lot. The action scenes were fantastic, especially that World War II scene that really kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And Gal Gadot. Of course, Gal Gadot. Who could play Wonder Woman except her? Like, seriously, who could play her? The cast did a fantastic job, but the reason why it's a bit low on my list is because the villain of the movie was a bit flat in my opinion. But seriously, Wonder Woman, great movie, fantastic DC movie, my favorite movie in the DC universe. That's why Wonder Woman's on my number 8. Now coming in number 7 is the third installment of a great trilogy, and I never felt so much that this movie is my favorite out of the trilogy, and that is War for the Planet of the Apes. This movie totally is my favorite out of the Planet of the Apes trilogy, and maybe my favorite Planet of the Apes movie of all time. I think it's better than the original Planet of the Apes in my personal opinion. This movie is totally looks amazing. The director of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is returning for this film, and my god, this film totally gets what I wanted. I wanted to focus on the apes more than humans. Especially, Woody Harrelson wasn't even much in the film. He's only in the third act. But this movie totally focuses on the apes, and that is fantastic. The motion capture work, impressive. It looks amazing. I never expected motion capture work to look this real, because I thought that they used real apes and used CGI mouse and all that stuff. No, they used motion capture. Like, this is probably one of the best motion captures I've seen in a very long time. And Andy Serkis as Caesar. One of the best Caesar performances I've ever seen in my life. Now, coming in number 6 is my favorite horror film of this year, totally. And that movie is, I think you guessed it, that is It. My god, this movie totally surprised me. When I watched the trailer of this movie, I'm like, this looks decent, this looks kind of creepy, but I'm not sure how they can handle that. But no, this movie totally made me forget the original TV series. This movie totally still scares me till this day. This movie, my god, it was surprisingly scary, but surprisingly hilarious as well, like especially from Richie. And they put horror comedy in one, and I think they handled it really freaking well. I really freaking love the Losers Club. They're one of the most likable kids I've seen all year, and especially Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. My god, this guy is amazing. I can't wait to see him in It Chapter 2, and I can't wait to find out who are the adult characters of the Losers Club in the second one, because this movie is great. Fantastic horror film. I watched this movie twice, and the second time, it was better than the first time. It was so much fun. It was my number 6. Alright guys, up to my top 5. This is probably the hardest top 5 I've ever done on this list, because there's a lot of A+ I gave this year. These films, I have to swipe them in order, which one that I like the most. So my number 5 on my list is Baby Driver. Edgar Wright knows how to direct fantastic and fun films. He directs Shaun the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End, and he also directs Scott Pilgrim. Now he directed Baby Driver. I was really excited for this film. This film is probably my favorite Edgar Wright film. I think this film totally bet Scott Pilgrim vs. World. Ansel Elgort, fantastic as Baby. This is probably one of my favorite acting performances of all time. And the soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks of the year. I actually did listen to the soundtrack after watching this movie. Fantastic. Baby Driver is a fun movie. The action scenes were well shot. Edgar Wright knows how to direct great films. And I just want to see what films he can do next. Because Baby Driver, fantastic. I wish they could make a sequel to it. Maybe it'll be impossible, but if he does, I'll be excited for that. Now, coming at number 4 is one of my favorite directors of all time, and he directed a film that I did not expect it to be, and that movie is Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan, he's one of my favorite directors. I love the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, even Interstellar, and The Prestige, and Memento, but none of these films that are so different than Dunkirk. Dunkirk is one of the most different war films I have ever seen. There's not even a single main character. This film totally focuses on what's happening. I love that. This film looks amazing. I got this movie for Christmas on Blu-ray. It looks amazing on Blu-ray. Guys, if you have not seen this film, where have you been? Christopher Nolan is a great director, and everyone should know Christopher Nolan. He's one of the greatest directors of IMAX ever. The IMAX, I went to see this film in IMAX. Fantastic looking film in IMAX. My gosh, I was literally on the edge of my seat the entire time. Especially Hans Zimmer's score made me more on the edge of my seat, because this is one of my favorite scores of the year. Dunkirk, fantastic movie, fantastic war film, and nearly on my number 1. I was about to put this on my number 1, but I saw 3 movies that I liked even more. Now, coming at number 3, this is the movie that I'm saying, where can I put this movie on this list? Because I did do a spoiler review of this movie, and I'm thinking, this movie does have flaws, so I'll put it a bit lower on my list. I wouldn't put it in my number 1, and that movie is Star Wars The Last Jedi. Don't get me wrong, I really love Star Wars The Last Jedi. I think it is still better than The Force Awakens in my personal opinion. There are some people that did hate this movie, and that's understandable, because this movie is not like as action-packed as the first Force Awakens movie. This movie is totally like a drama, but intensity. And I really love Star Wars The Last Jedi. The characters were amazing, especially Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. I'm not going to spoil anything from this movie, but the ending is probably one of the most coolest endings of the year. But there are some flaws with the movie, but I'm not going to spoil it. But still, I freaking had a lot of fun with Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's Star Wars, for God's sake. Of course I had to put a Star Wars movie on my top 10 list, whatever it is. Like Rogue One I put in my number 10, and Force Awakens I put in number 1, which a lot of people are thinking, you put The Force Awakens in the number 1 of 2015, and you put this one in the number 3. So you're saying The Force Awakens was better. No, it doesn't matter what order I put in. Star Wars The Force Awakens wasn't my number 1 because I had the most fun with this year. This movie I did have fun with, but not as much fun as the last 2 movies on my list. But still, Star Wars The Last Jedi, I would buy this movie. It's totally an amazing film. Now currently number 2 is so close to my number 1 spot on my list. This is a movie that I watched so many times and I like it even more, and that movie is Logan. One of the best, in my opinion, X-Men films. Better than X-Men Days of Future Past in my personal opinion. This is why I wanted a Wolverine conclusion to be bloody, with a fantastic Hugh Jackman performance and very big heart. And we got that in this film. My god, Logan was amazing. I was so shocked at how great this movie was. Hugh Jackman, please win an Oscar for this movie. This is probably one of the best acting films I ever seen. This is a great character study film. And I know you think this film is better than Wonder Woman. In my opinion, it is. And this movie doesn't feel like a comic book movie, in my opinion. This movie felt like a character study, a drama on its own, with tints of Wolverine claws in it. This is probably one of my favorite Wolverine films in the trilogy, of course. One of the best final acting conclusions ever. One of my favorite Hugh Jackman performances. Logan is in my number 2. Alright guys, my number 1 of 2017. This is a movie that really shocked me this year. This movie, I felt like I'm in the edge of my seat the whole entire movie. My number 1, in my personal opinion, on my favorite movie of 2017 is Blade Runner 2049. I wasn't really a big fan of the first Blade Runner, but when I heard Denis Villeneuve is directing this movie, the guy who directed Prisoners on Arrival, totally I'm excited for this film. And my god, I never seen a sequel that is so much better than the original since Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This movie totally was amazing. The performances of the movie were fantastic. Ryan Gosling, fantastic. Harrison Ford, great. The score of the movie, my god, it sounds amazing when I watched it in the theater. This is probably one of the best cinematographies I've seen the entire freaking year. The look of the city looks amazing. The dialogue and all that stuff was fantastic. I get what's happening. This movie, nothing really happens. It's just a mystery film, and I loved it. This movie is one of the best science fiction films I've seen all year, and probably my favorite film I have seen all this year, my number 1. So guys, that is my top 10 best films of 2017. What are your top 10 lists? Comment below, let me know what you think, and make sure you check out tomorrow my top 10 worst lists of 2017, and there are some bad movies that came out this year. So guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.